Claude Opus 5 came out recently, so I tested it across this graphics and game development suite, putting it up against Claude Fable 5, GPT 5.6 Soul, and Kimi K3. Each model uses its own provider agent stack. The Claude models use Claude Code, GPT 5.6 uses Codex, and Kimi K3 uses Kimi CLI. So this is a workflow comparison, not a bare model test. Each run was one request, no human follow-up or manual correction after submission. The agents could use their disclosed tools, internal retries, and sub-agents where supported. I recorded the output, time, tokens, cost, and the process around each run. Let us begin. First, we have an off-road truck test, which was inspired by Chris GPT. The model has to create a vehicle asset from scratch along with the physics and suspension system. The trail also has to be procedurally generated. Interestingly, neither Opus 5 or GPT 5.6 Soul produced a good one-shot result here. There are a lot of flaws and bugs. Opus has invisible tires and doors, and when you switch to the cockpit camera in either build, the view is obstructed. You can tell a lot of the visual feedback Opus took was from the rear view. I'm quite confident that if it had taken a side view picture, it would have noticed the invisible tires. This is something I see a lot from these models in general. They can give themselves a huge blind spot by sticking to the same camera angle throughout a generation. So I would say it's important to tell the model to vary the camera angle just so it gets a more complete visual perspective. Now, looking at price, GPT 5.6 Soul came in at $19.10 compared to $124.35 for Opus 5, and it completed the test in half the time. The Opus 5 vehicle also has the tendency to catapult, whereas GPT 5.6 has the more planted car. For the environments, I do like the forest GPT 5 made, especially the tree movement animation from the wind, but I also thought the glossy mud from GPT 5.6 Soul looked great as well, even if the puddles look less so. When compared to Kimi K3, Kimi has its doors and tires intact, though the vehicle likes to catapult as well, and the cockpit camera is also obstructed. It took 3 hours and 50 minutes to complete, the longest out of the three, while costing only $28.72. Let me know in the comments which one you think looks better. Next, we have a continuation of the space flight test. Each model built on top of its first single prompt with an additional frozen single prompt to make a planet that we can land on and take off from, without obvious loading screens, of course. Each model also got a fixed character asset, so think of it as a stage 2 of the project, where each stage is a new frozen prompt that we give to all the models. Looking at the Claude family here, Opus 5's interactive planet flickers compared to the other celestial objects in its solar system. We see the flickering even upon landing, and also on the landing pad, but its landing system is more dynamic than the other models. In the video, you see me crash land on the pad, but I could actually crash land anywhere in the region you see upon leaving orbit. It does not take automatic control like the other models do. The downside is that finding the region where you can land is tough. Fable 5, as you can see, takes over from orbit and made landing gear for the ship, but upon taking off from the planet, the ship is facing down instead of up, something that it could easily resolve if it took images of the launch animation sequence. As for the environments, they each went for different approaches. Fable 5 made an ice planet, and Opus went for more tropical. I think both models did great with the environment they created. They clocked in at around 2 hours to generate this stage 2 update. Let me know in the comments what you guys think should be the stage 3 prompt for this project, other than just telling the models to test their respective games more. GPT 5.6 Soul went for the simpler design. You can land on the planet seamlessly, although the planet is very small. It took 1 hour and 29 minutes for the update and cost only $20.84. Kimi K3 had the worst landing mechanic out of the 4. It is very challenging to get it to land, and even once you achieve the landing sequence, you are greeted with a distorted character asset. It only cost $15.58 to generate. Next, we have the Neo-Gothic Flooded City. Opus 5 took quite a long time on this one, leading it to cost more than Fable 5 Max. Its structures seem more detailed than Fable's. but I will say both generations fulfill the Neo-Gothic aesthetic. At this point, I would say it's honestly a matter of taste. As for the water, they took different approaches, but both have an essence of a storm ocean, with Fable's floodwater being more violent. But the Opus 5 generation also fulfills their criteria and has more realistic looking water with greater reflections. When you put it next to GPT 5.6 Soul, GPT has a more monotone Neo-Gothic aesthetic, which creates a totally different looking atmosphere compared to the Opus 5 Max generation. And this is how it compares to Kimi K3. Next we have the Cathedral. This is one of the best results I've seen for this test so far. It really wins out in the interior detail, although I thought it was interesting that it opted for no pillars, and the light through the windows also seems exaggerated compared to Fable 5. Opus 5 again spent a lot of time on this, 3 times as much as Fable 5, which speaks to how much this model loves thinking, at least at the max effort level, granted both on Maxia. Opus 5 opted for a more complicated hanging light design. When compared to GPT 5.6 Soul, it's not much of a competition visually, but the price difference is quite big. And then for Kimi K3, Kimi is not very performant on this test. It's behind both the Frontier, OpenAI and Anthropic models on this specific use case. Next we have the MacBook Pro test. Even though they are all given the same spec, each model ends up producing a different MacBook every time. Opus 5 only spent 6 minutes more than Fable 5 this time, and it came in much cheaper, $27 compared to $75 for Fable. Again, Kimi does a great job here when costs are considered. Let me know how you think Opus fared on this test. Next is the JRPG test. Opus 5 did a decent job here and came in much cheaper than Fable 5 Max. It has a better flow in my opinion, but the backdrop it created through codecs cut off at the top. And just like Fable 5, it has a lot of cinematic camera movement, which some models lack in this test. Other than the strange backdrop, it produced no flaws or bugs here. When you compare it to GPT 5.6 Soul, you can see that Opus 5 maintains the Claude family trend of actually composing nice, magic animations for the characters. GPT 5.6 took the more fast-tracked method here, but this is Soul Ultra. Perhaps when I rerun this test with Soul Max, the gap would close. And when compared with Kimi K3, Kimi, as mentioned in previous videos, has none of the regular JRPG camera movement. It does get the effects and everything correct, with no bugs or issues, so this is more a matter of the general aesthetic the said model drifts towards for this specific test and use case. But when you look at the price, Kimi's result definitely stands out. Next we have the Jungle Temple diorama. Opus 5 did a fantastic job, with the caveat of costing 4 times as much as Fable 5. Its whole scene is coherent with no major flaws. When compared with GPT 5.6 Soul, both models opted for a big bridge, but in terms of scene detail, GPT 5.6 Soul falls behind. But do note the price difference between the two models. And with Kimi, it's more of the same. Kimi's scene is lacking overall when coming to this test. Let me know which one you think is best out of the 4. Looking at the Oasis Outpost, Opus 5's scene again packs more detail than the rest. The roofs in the village are populated and the walls of the buildings have more patterns and shades. It also makes a more dynamic landscape, perhaps too dynamic, but it did spend the longest out of all the models on this test. Compared to GPT 5.6 Soul, we continue to see the gap in attention to detail between the models, but GPT 5.6 Soul wins out on completion time and cost. Compared to Kimi K3, Kimi also populates the scene more than GPT 5.6. The scale of its scene is smaller though. We do not easily see as much as we do with the Opus 5 generation. But for the price, Kimi K3's generation is very impressive. Lastly, we have a shrine exploration test. Usually I show the shrine village voxel diorama, so I thought why not have the model build a more mid-poly one to scale so we can explore it. Every asset you see was made by Opus 5, including the character, animations and sound. The character model was created separately in a different session and was given as a fixed asset for this one-shot prompt. This generation took 7 hours and 41 minutes, and that was only because I stopped it. Its independent LLM judge rated this result as subpar, giving it 14 out of 40 points, even after 2 reviews and revisions. The result uses the RemakeBench harness, which is available under Builder Access on RemakeBench.com, along with all the assets, tools, skills, and prompts, so you can replicate this result. Typically in this test, the model does one thing and uses a single service or application. So I wanted to see if we could combine everything into one long horizon task. I've only tested Opus 5 so far on this test, but I will test other models soon as well. The major flaws I would say are mainly the animations, character model quality, and collision mechanics. Current state-of-the-art models mainly succeed at making environments which are static compared to the interactive components that actually make a game complete. The running animation Opus 5 made for this character model is quite funny. And as for the cost, the reason it says $204 plus is because during this generation Opus 5 deployed 7 sub-agents. In total, those sub-agents used 1.89 million tokens. For those sub-agents, we cannot see how the tokens were split between input, cache, and output, which are needed to determine the true price. So we only accurately measure the parent model's cost. For the sub-agents, we just have the token count. For perspective, the parent model processed 327 million tokens to produce this result. All the evidence and details on this run can be found on my website. Overall, Opus 5 can achieve really decent results that match Fable 5 and often for cheaper, though at times it's more prone to taking longer, hence costing the same or more than Fable 5 and other Frontier models. A trend I'm beginning to notice is that the best output for these creative tasks are coming from generations that took 6 hours or more to complete, with some developers leaving Opus 5 running for 24 hours to produce results that test the true potential of the model. The question is, will we see this trend continue? Thanks for watching, do like and subscribe, and have a good one.